Hello guys, I'm back with a huge update, 1.16.210. There are so many changes in this version, and it took me 3 or 4 hours to make this video. So before we start, click that like button if it helped you, and smash that subscribe button, turn on notifications to be notified whenever I upload a video. Anyways, let's start. Transitions are smooth and lags reduced, so if you are using old device, you can play with no lags. I suggest you to not apply any global resource pack, and you need to have less worlds, so the transitions will work for you. And I don't recommend you to have too many resources and behaviors packs. If you have this, may cause lags.
Money.
So I was not active on YouTube like for 2 weeks or 3 cause I was like, what I'm gonna do if Minecraft discontinued KitKat. Alright, I'm back, so let's go to the changes. Vanilla parity changes and fixes. Players now experience ambient sounds in the nether. Mobile players need to update the Minecraft original music pack via the marketplace to hear these new sounds. So if you installed the music pack, check your marketplace and update it. Using bone meal and war motion biomes now only generates seagrass, coral, and coral fans. Changes: added F11 as a keyboard shortcut for full screen mode. Added text-to-speech volume slider in audio settings. Though let me check that. So now we can change the volume of the text-to-speech voice. That's good. Android devices. Our ability to support Android devices on KitKat or below is coming to an end. For more information, please see our help article. Players running this KitKat or below are not able to purchase a realm from that device. So about a week ago, Minecraft allowed KitKat users to receive updates till the next major update, which will be expected to be on July. Wait, if you don't know what is KitKat, it is Android 4.4 operating system. So now KitKat users can play Minecraft normally till 1.17, but I will not stop making Parse error fix content, so it's good news. Known issues. Please be assured that we are still working on the issue that is causing some players to get stuck on the red loading screen on PS4. To help us investigate this further, the game will now detect if it has failed to load correctly after 30 minutes, which will help us to diagnose and rectify the problem. Player may be unable to change back from local network to online network on Nintendo Switch due to infinite loading. Players are unable to see and join LAN sessions on Xbox without Xbox Live Gold subscription. The chest inventory menu is not visible when a chest is placed close to wall on PSVR. There are unknown animations when using items, and punching at the air when playing on mobile devices. Fixes. Performance/stability fixed a number of crashes that could occur during gameplay, like when you are playing the game closest. Fixed a crash that could occur when opening the achievement screen when the anti-aliasing setting was set to 1. Fixed a crash that could occur when loading mixed structure files into the world that include entities. Teleporting away from a structure animation no longer causes a game to crash. Fixed a crash that could occur when leaving a world. Fixed a crashing issue related to corrupted biomes during world load for various marketplace worlds. Fixed a crash that could occur when using code connection. General. Players are once again able to join servers when the server has view distance set to 4 or less. Split screen characters are now stored in memory, and rejoining the game will keep the character that the player had, like when you switch to another app. Then when returning to Minecraft, you can resume the game/server you were playing instead of quitting. brought back capability to rejoin a server after it has been suspended and resumed. Sign-in failures now have a more helpful error message and provide error codes. Clicking download template when missing required templates of an existing world now correctly downloads the required templates. Resolved an issue where, in certain cases, a world could not be properly synced to the cloud. Sparks only. If you are having trouble syncing worlds, please try opening the world on the original Sparks, save/quit, then wait a few moments while the world is resynced into the cloud. Fixed an issue where crafting a bed with the recipe book unlocked the change of sheets trophy. Gamma play. Fixed players taking full damage when opening shulker boxes. Players will no longer dismount into liquids, lava, or water from rideables such as boats. In all worlds created with the same seed, the same chest will now always generate the same content in the same order. All mobs that use a melee attack have had their ability to hit targets above and below them restored. The target still must be within melee attack distance to be hit. This only affects world versions greater than or equal to the 16th of January 210. Fixed a bug where parrots could fly upwards indefinitely. Fixed an issue that was causing the Ender Dragon animation to appear jittery. Added new logic for mobs dismounting rideables. This also introduces a more fine-grained entity height check allowing different dismount places for entities of different heights. Fixed a bug where foxes wouldn't knock off and eat sweet berries. Fixed a bug that allowed players to place custom spawn eggs by default in adventure mode. Minicuts now properly update their effects. Looping sound. Player coordinates when the minecart is not being rendered for the rider. Blocks. Mining Crimson Hiffy with Silk Touch now returns a placeable block. Fix for certain marketplace worlds having incorrect block data when played on Realms and multiplayer between mobile and PC. Fixed dried kelp block bottom and carried textures so the rope pixels are aligned. Fixed an issue where snow accumulated in lines with certain simulation distances. TNT submerged in water will once again launch players in survival mode. Items. Ink sacks obtained from the wandering trader can now be used for crafting and can be stacked. Redstone dust is now displayed as redstone dust instead of redstone. Nether brick now gives XP from being smelted. Graphical. Fixed an issue with screen resolution which could flicker when resizing a window. Fixed an issue with maps rendering over transparent objects when attached to item frames when using ray tracing. Reduced ghosting of fish when viewed through the water with DLSS enabled. Accessibility. Fixed the screen reader not reading the title on the permission screen. Emote wheel now supports the screen reader on Android and iOS devices. Keyboard inputs can now adjust slider settings when the cursor is outside the UI frame. Fixed a bug where the screen reader did not read the permission toggles titles on the permission screen. The screen reader now reads whisper and announcement messages. The screen reader now informs the player when the chat settings menu has been opened. The screen reader now properly reads edit/create character button text for each character on the profile screen. The screen reader now announces the names of the A/B button swap and X/Y button swap options correctly. Fixed an issue where the screen reader would intermittently fail to announce some button names. User interface. Command blocks no longer censor numbers. Improved the smoothness of menu transition animations. A warning now appears when attempting to move a locked item in and from containers. Updated outdated loading screen tips. Added more helpful video settings messages for ray tracing on supported and non-supported platforms. Golden Apple and Enchanted Apple now have colored hotbar text when selecting them. Tool and armor recipes now display the selected item background when selected in the recipe list. Wireframe of a structure block and the overworld will no longer enter in nether and the end. Audio sliders now always highlight when hovered over with the mouse. The durability bar is now visible when holding items with decreased durability in a window. Fixed an issue where achievement names and descriptions would not be translated independent of language. Selection. The online status of cross-platform friends shown on the invite screen will now update when a change has been detected. Fixed an issue that prevented achievement rewards from showing correctly after changing the language setting. Owned and purchasable skins no longer get mixed into different categories while offline. Emote title no longer shows previously previewed emote upon re-entering the emotes tab. Emotes. Updated the in-game links to the proper support pages. Fixed skin preview navigation when using a controller. Fixed missing incompatible button on the marketplace inventory screen. Fixed some interface issues with scrolling and clearing store filters. Raised the time limit for selecting whether to download a resource pack on Connect from 5 seconds to 5 minutes. The in-game invite screen will now refresh when you return to it from the add member screen. Achievement screen. The new achievement screens are now enabled by default, except in VR, on PS4, or on touch devices with narration enabled. Removed the input legend of the achievement page summary panel when narration is enabled. Fixed an issue where the scroll bar could be hidden behind the input legend. Fixed achievement details page getting its content hidden behind the input legend. Updated size of achievement reward frame. Updated frame art for locked achievements. Commands. Teleport command now correctly aligns your rotation with the destination entity. Selector argument options can again be seen and auto-completed correctly after specifying one. Spawn events now show as suggestions for the summon command. Send command feedback no longer prevents display if outgoing messages, multiple /ticking area add or /ticking area remove commands performed during the same tick will no longer result in inaccurate messages about the number of ticking areas in use. Players can no longer overrun the maximum number of standalone ticking areas in use by adding them all in the same tick. Added stop action to the /screen shake command. Score values on the scoreboard now align to the right of the table. The /set block command now supports setting the connected state for soul lanterns. The /set block command now supports setting the rotation state for the chain block. Fixed an issue that preventing player interaction after using the /clone command on a double chest block. Using the /clone command to clone a block of the same type is no longer treated as a failed operation. So now this for map and add-ons makers and server creators. For map makers and add-on creators, updated template packs. Updated templates for the 16th of January 210 with new resources, behaviors, and documentation are available for download. Resource pack template. APK ms/resource pack template behavior pack template includes documentation. APK ms/behavior pack template. Added the fogs folder to the resource pack template. Added fog documentation. I will post the link in the description. Fixes. Horses, donkeys, mules, skeleton horses, and zombie horses can now properly be given custom names and identified using their respective runtime _identifier. Improved performance for actors using tempt goal. Zombie villagers spawned from zombie spawners on marketplace worlds that were created after version 1.11 now correctly spawn as V2 zombie villagers. When cured, they will now correctly turn into v2 villagers. Fixed upgrade path for format version 1.13.0 boats to be properly upgraded to the 16th of January 100, which resolves a bug where boats templated worlds with a version lower than the 16th of January 100 had no gravity. Documentation for Bedrock server commands has been updated to show the correct commands for permission reloading and listing. Structure blocks no longer auto-save data when structure name text box is deselected. Entities that use material state blending now render correctly behind transparent parts. The scoreboard data of an entity is no longer removed if the entity is being teleported to an unloaded area of the world. Custom blocks now can only drop default state when broken, even with Silk Touch. Technical structures can now be deleted from the saved structure list using the new structure delete name command. Added new /command options for /set block, fill, and /clone commands for parsing in a list of block states to set on the block being spawned. A boolean parameter called ignore_game_mode has been added for the block event response decrement_stack, set to false by default. Thus decrement_stack no longer decreases the item stack when playing in creative by default. Changing writable component property rotate_ida_byte a function for custom mob set block and set block add pose events now support custom block states. Attachable items created in 1.16.2 and before will not render for their player in first person. Attachable items created after 1.16.2 will render for their player in first person, unless they are armor. Game Test Framework. Game Test is server-side test automation tool that is based on pairing test code with test structures. You can trigger the tests via the /gamma test command once you have enabled the Enable Game Test Framework experimental toggle for a world. Note, Game Test is not functional on console platforms. Custom biomes and blocks. Disabled loading of entities in custom biome features. Fixed stubs of data-driven blocks to not be slightly shrunk, which caused texel warping. Fixed data-driven blocks being pushed by pistons not working correctly. Render offsets component. Simple items, like swords or pickaxes, can have an optional offset applied to them to modify the way they are rendered. Note this component should not be added to an attachable item. Component variables, main_hand, an optional object storing optional transform data for first_person and third_person for the player's right hand. Off_hand, an optional object storing optional transform data for first_person and third_person for the player's left hand. First_person, an optional object storing 3 vectors position, rotation, scale used to build the first person matrix. Third_person, an optional object storing 3 vectors position, rotation, scale used to build the third person matrix. Bedrock dedicated server. On server side, added protection from semicolon usage in server name parameter in server point properties. Config file. If semicolon symbol or symbols are used by the user in server name parameter, then any semicolon or semicolons will be removed to provide correct client-server interactions. Additional comments are added to server point properties, which are not allowed to use semicolon symbol or symbols in server name parameter. On server side, added protection from semicolon and symbols illegal for file name usage in level name parameter in server point properties config file. If semicolon or symbols illegal for file name are used by user in level name parameter, then those symbols will be removed to provide correct client-server interactions and correct level name parameter usage on server side. Additional comments are added to server point properties, which are not allow semicolon or symbols illegal for file name usage in level name parameter. On client side, added additional verification and correction for unconnected Pong packet data to prevent incorrect server parameters parsing, and inability of the client to connect to the server as a result of that. Unit tests are added for parsing. Additional verification and correction of unconnected Pong packet data, so that it for today guys. Check the description and download it. I'm using Google Drive instead of Mediafire, because Mediafire is not working. See you in my next video. Bye.